Hello, my name is Michelle Crow, and this is a personal essay about my childhood Christmases and the resilience of family. Thank you for listening with an open heart. The years that Santa wore prison blues. Some of my first photos with my dad were taken during the years that Santa wore prison blues. At the time, I didn't know that was unusual. I didn't know it was something people whispered about or avoided talking about. I didn't know that Santa wasn't supposed to be an inmate or that the background wasn't just where pictures are taken. I only knew that I was standing next to my dad, that it was Christmas, and that my mom was smiling. My dad was in and out of prison for much of the first 10 years of my life. Because of that, I don't remember spending Christmas with him at home until I was about 11 years old. Before then, Christmas meant road trips across Ohio. My mom, my little sister, and me driving to whichever prison he was in that year, and honestly, we were excited. That part surprises people, but for us, it was normal. We'd put on our best clothes, pile into the car, and head out before daylight. The buildings were always huge, old, dark red brick structures with gates that clanged loudly behind you. But I don't remember being scared. I don't remember feeling ashamed. I remember holding my mom's hand, staying close to my sister, and knowing we were about to see Dad. Looking back at the photos now, I notice things I didn't see then. The prison issued clothing, the stiff way we're standing in front of painted backdrops, the way everybody looks slightly staged, slightly off. You can tell if you know what you're looking for. But as a child, I didn't. I thought everyone's dad was in prison. And maybe that sounds sad to some people, but to me it just was. My dad paid for his mistakes, he served his time, and afterward he became a better man. But during those years, what mattered most to me wasn't where he was. It was that we got to be together. My mom could have left. She was beautiful, strong, and determined. She had every reason and every opportunity to move on. Instead, she did what she had always did, whatever was necessary. She made sure my sister and I were safe, warm, and fed, and she made sure that we saw our dad. Sometimes after visiting Dad, we barely had enough gas to make it home. The money was that tight. The kind of tight where you stop watching the gauge because worrying won't change it anyway. And my mom never let us be afraid of that. She would laugh like she did not have a care in the world. So when we would leave the prison after a visit with Dad, we'd pull back out onto the highway, the sun already shrinking low. Mom would turn on the radio and slide in the best of the 70s 8-track. Running on Empty would come on and we'd sing along like it was written just for us. Tired voices, most likely off key, laughing anyway. It didn't feel dramatic at the time, it just felt like us, moving forward even when we didn't have much left in the tank. Looking back now, I realized how determined my mom was, how much love it took to choose those drives again and again. She could have stayed home. She could have protected herself by letting go, but instead, she chose presence. She chose family. She chose the long way. During those last years of visits, we drove a beat up old station wagon with rust so bad, I'm not sure how we didn't fall through the floor. But somehow we made it. We always made it. We're still here to tell the story. Sometimes when Mom and I reminisce, we laugh so hard thinking about those times, but then sometimes we cry. One time, I even got stuck in the bars of a chair while visiting, because kids do things like that. I remember the inmate saying that they might have to go get a chainsaw to get me out. In my little child's brain, I was sure that this was how I was going to die. But I was rescued and the room exploded with laughter. And that's the part people don't expect to hear. The laughter and the ordinary moments. The way the visiting room felt like a strange kind of community. Families everywhere, kids everywhere, love trying to exist inside iron gates. It felt like a big family. And those Christmases, those are ones I would never trade. There is no gift greater than being allowed to see your dad. No wrapping paper compares to that. No tree, no toy, no perfect holiday scene could replace the joy of walking through metal gates, metal detectors, and locked doors and finding him on the other side. Dad passed away in 2001, a few months before Christmas, and that year was hard without him. I couldn't drive to a prison anymore, though I would have, just to see him. And if he could have done things differently during those years, I believe he would have. I am sure that it was humbling for him to know that his family had to visit him behind bars at Christmas, but he did what he could with what he had at the time, and he loved us. That part never changed. When I look back now, I don't remember fear. I don't remember shame. I remember Santa. I remember my mom smiling, and I remember my dad. And now, when I look back, I see something else too. I see God in the in-between spaces, in the miles we drove, and the doors that opened and closed behind us, in the way we were always able to make it home, even when we shouldn't have. I see him in a mother who stayed, and in a father who tried again, and in a child who never felt unloved. Those Christmases weren't perfect. They weren't easy, but they were enough. And maybe that's what Christmas was always meant to be. Love finding its way through iron gates, empty tanks, and the years that shaped us.